guys, welcome back to the channel. It is officially sweater weather over here. Fall is my favorite season. It is the season of hearty soups and stews. So today I will be sharing a hot and spicy noodle soup recipe. Let's get to it. For this recipe, you will need Chinese pickled sour mustard. They come in little packets like this, and they taste a little bit sour, but they're actually more on the saltier side. I use it to add saltiness to my dish in my stir fries, and sometimes I just serve it on the side as an appetizer as well. Once you've opened it, pour the contents into an airtight jar. Then add enough filtered water to cover the mustard. Since it's a pickle, it can store in the fridge for 6 months. This pickled mustard will give this recipe its saltiness, so make sure you always taste before adding more salt to this recipe. If you can't find pickled mustard, you can always use Soyb, which is used in dandan noodles. And if you've made dandan noodles and you have some of this laying around, you can use it in this dish instead. So for this recipe, I'm going to use a couple of the thicker parts of the leaves. I like these thicker parts because they are quite toothsome and they add a nice textural layer to the dish. Now lay them flat on top of each other and slice them into thin strips. Rinse it under cold water to remove excess salt and then squeeze all the water out. You can also do this part before chopping it up and it will make this task much easier. But because I forgot to do that first, I had to do it after I chopped it up. Julienne the ginger into thin strips. And remove the excess fat from your chicken thighs before cutting them into long strips as well. Now onto the stove. Turn your heat to medium-high and add the sour mustard in without any oil. We're just going to stir fry it a little bit until all the water has evaporated. Then remove it and set it aside. Next, we're going to add some oil and the julienne ginger, and then we're going to stir fry until it's aromatic. Now we're going to add in some chili garlic sauce. Just make sure you stand back when you add the sauce because it'll make the oil splatter. Today I'm using sambal oelek, but you can use any chili garlic sauce you can find. Add more if you want it to be spicier and add less, adjust according to how much heat you can handle. So stir up the chili garlic sauce for a few seconds and then add in the chicken. Now we want to continuously stir fry the chicken until it has browned all over and are not stuck to each other. So now that the chicken is no longer pink, we can add back the sour mustard and drizzle on some soy sauce. Stir fry it and mix it up and then pour in the chicken stock and water. Give it a good stir and we're gonna let the soup come to a boil. Try and remove any scum that surfaces to the top. And then once it comes to a boil, turn the heat down and then cover it and simmer for 5 minutes. Now we're almost there. To finish the soup, we're going to taste the soup for saltiness and then we're going to add some salt, a little bit of sugar, some sesame oil, a teeny tiny dash of white pepper, and it's totally okay to use black pepper if you don't have any white pepper. Give it a good stir and our soup is ready. Now let's talk about noodles because I always talk about the noodles I use when I'm sharing a noodle recipe. Now for the noodles, I usually use fresh noodles from the Korean market or the Chinese market. But when I was shooting this video, I had decided to try these dried Canton noodles. And to be quite honest, they didn't turn out as good as expected at all. So I'm just gonna skip talking about it because I don't recommend these noodles. And we can just move on to the next thing. Now I have some baby bok choy and I'm going to quarter them lengthwise. Then simply dunk them into boiling water and blanch them for about 30 seconds to a minute. Remove them and now you can use the same water to cook your noodles as well. Finally, add the noodles to your bowl and scoop up all the chicken and sour mustard from the bottom of the soup pot and pour it over your noodles. Add the bok choy on top and there we have it. Hot and spicy chicken noodle soup.